Greetings everyone. Today we're going to explore solving multi-step equations, and we're going to add one step in today. We're going to combine like terms. We do have a note sheet for this, but if you don't have a printer or didn't get it in class, please make sure to take notes in your notebook. First, let's jot down some steps that we can look back on and reference on how to solve when combining like terms. Your first step is to do exactly that. We're going to combine like terms on one or both sides. Remember, like terms are like 2x plus 3x. That would get me to 5x, right? But remember, 3y plus 3 can't be combined. Those are unlike terms. Next, let's decide what to undo. Now the steps are similar to our previous lessons. We're going to do PEMDAS backwards, so remember we're going to start by undoing any addition or subtraction. And then we're going to undo any multiplication or division. This is something we've already been practicing and working on. If you need help with these steps, make sure to take a look at our previous videos, as I'll go pretty quickly through those steps. So again, what's the only difference from our two-step video? Just that first step. Quick refresher, you don't have to jot this down if you're using your own notebook. If it's on your note sheet though, let's take care of it. Let's remember the strategies for combining like terms. So I like to underline. So if I see a positive 2x, a negative 1x, or some of you have been circling those so you include the signs, that would combine to make a positive 1x. And then if I have a negative 3y and a positive 3y, that would be 0y. So I don't even need to write that. And then my third like term, I see 10z's plus 5z's for 15z's. So that's what we're talking about when we combine like terms. All right, let's start solving. Draw a line down the equal sign as always. Step 1, our new step today, is to combine like terms on one side or the other. So look at the left. There's nothing to combine there, right? So let's look at the right. What can we squish together? And I'm going to underline what's going together. I see a 5m and a 2m, which combine to get 7m. Everything else falls down. See, if I didn't use it, it comes down. Our second step is to undo any addition or subtraction, just like we did before. Now this is a basic two-step. So if I'm going to, instead of subtracting 9, I'm going to add 9. What I do to one side, I do to the other side. I have 14 equals, and the 7m falls down. And my third and final step is to undo any multiplication or division. So instead of times by 7, I'm going to divide by 7. So m falls down, and my final answer is m equals 2. Let's take a look at another one. Line down the equal sign. The right side's small. There's nothing I can combine there, but my first step is on the left side. I see I have an 11m and a negative 6m. So maybe if you're visual, throw boxes around those, right? We're going to bring those together. We're going to combine them. 11 minus 6 is 5m. If we didn't use it, it falls down. Our second step is to undo any addition or subtraction. So instead of a subtract 8, we're going to add 8. Opposites cancel, everything else falls down. And our last step is to undo any multiplication or division. Instead of times 5, we're going to divide 5. So on the left side, the m falls down, and I've got a nice clean 6. Example 3. Now this is a special case. All right, remember we've talked about these before. I can't do anything because that 5 is in the way, right? So I have to do my steps in a little different order, meaning I got to kick that 5 to the other side. If it's a big divide 5, then we need to do a big times 5. Opposites cancel. 7r minus 2 falls down because we didn't use it. And on the right side, I've got 40. Now this is a problem I can follow the typical steps for, right? I'm going to undo any addition or subtraction next. I'm going to, instead of minus 2, add 2. I didn't use the 7r. And my last step, instead of multiplying or dividing, we're going to undo. Instead of times 7, divide 7. So I arrive at a nice, clean 6. Now, we can have fractional answers, right? I'm just starting off with a little bit easier, nice integer answers. But fractions aren't always wrong. Let's try another one. Line down the equal sign. Today's first step is to combine like terms. Well, let's look at that right side. What can I actually squish together? I see a positive 9 and a positive 7. I can bring those together to get a positive 16. Everything else falls down. Let's follow our steps. Second, I want to undo any addition or subtraction. Instead of positive 16, we're going to minus 16 from both sides. That gets me to 30, and the 6b falls down. And my third step is to undo any multiplication or division. Instead of times 6, we're going to divide by 6 to get a nice, clean 5. Now you'll notice I'm zooming through those last steps because the last steps were in our previous lesson. I'm spending a little more time on this first step. Take a look at that left side here. Be very careful. I have a negative 2x and a negative 3x. If I combine those, here's how I think of it. I think money. If I owe someone $2, if I'm in the hole $2 and I'm in the hole $3, now I'm in the hole $5, so negative 5. Everything else falls down. So be very, very careful with those signs. See how drawing boxes helped me remember my signs? Maybe consider doing that. Second step, we want to undo any addition or subtraction, so we're going to kick that over. The negative 5x falls down. Last step, undo any multiplication or division. Instead of times negative 5, divide negative 5. The x falls down, and I've got negative 1 for an answer. And our last full example. First step. The left side's small, so I don't have to worry about that, but the right side's got stuff going on. I've got a negative y and a positive 5y. I can bring those together. Technically, there's a 1, right? So negative 1 plus 5 is positive 4y. Everything else falls down. Second step is to undo any addition or subtraction. Well, let's see, this is a positive 8. So the opposite is negative 8. The positive 4y falls down. And on the left side, I have, be very careful, negative 20. Watch your signs and use your calculator. Third step, undo any multiplication or division. Instead of times 4, let's divide 4. The y falls down, and my answer is negative 5, because a negative divided by a positive is a negative. Now let's think for a second. How can I make sure my answer is right? If you want to make sure, you can plug your answer back into the question. Let me show you a little example off to the side here. Let's say I have 2x plus 3 equals 9, right? And I'm solving this little equation, and I get 2x equals 6. I divide, and I get x equals 3, right? So if I want to make sure that this 3 is right, what I can do is I can rewrite the problem, but instead of x, put the 3 in, right? So I'm taking this 3 and I'm putting it in for x. See how I just replaced it? Well, let's check our work here. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 equals 9. It'll work out. If it's the correct answer and you plug it in, you should get an equivalent value. All right, as always, make sure that you check Google Classroom. If you have questions, let me know. Seek out help in the Sabre Center. That schedule is on Google Classroom as well. And until next time, have a good one.